Welcome to Coffee with the USS Russell Camp. I'm Sean. Drew is away for a moment. Richard is our Canadian Marine, Space Marine, and damn it. And the vampire over here is from England, and he's in the future right now and never sleeps. So we're going to talk about sci-fi. We're going to talk about gaming. We're going to talk about community service and community service organizations, cosplay, and your health. So, how's everybody been?
I'm not bad.
Oh, there's Drew.
Welcome
back. So, we did the show while I was in the hospital. I was a wee bit loopier than I am now, not by much, and I was falling asleep. Since then, I've had a lot of tests. I've got an eye doctor on Monday. Drew's got an eye doctor on like Tuesday or Wednesday, but two different eye doctors. The 12th. Oh, so the day before I go in for my PET scan, Drew goes in to get his eyes fixed. So I do PET scan, and on the 27th, I have a port installed and I start my treatments. One of the things that I talked about health is I waited 5 months. This pain was a lot worse than I thought, and I should have taken the signs to get checked out. Drew got dizzy in one day and went to the doctor. He was a smart one. If he had waited, he would have had a lot more issues. So tonight, get checked out. Take that first sign and actually go to the doctor. There are programs that they have that can help you if you can't afford it. And I've been finding out about a lot of them. As a matter of fact, I was in the hospital for 5 days, and the hospital did not submit $80,000 to my insurance. Instead, they wrote it off. So they actually found out my situation, and they took care of all my testing, basically. So I'm going to mention it, Having Health. I am a Seventh-day Adventist. Part of my church's network is Advent Health, and they actually care about people. So when you find good doctors and good people like that, shout them out. So I'm not doing this as, hey, use Advent Health. I'm doing this as saying they helped me out. So it was pretty amazing. Drew and Mike actually came. What the? Oh.
I let him in, and you
let
him
at the same time. So Drew and Mike came and visited me while we were in there, and they got to meet some of the staff there. And like I said, the professionalism, the setup of the hospital, the fact that the doctors didn't wait till I was already at home. They made sure that they went above and beyond to make sure that instead of me leaving and having to be incurred that $80,000 outside of the hospital where they couldn't write it off, they did that to help me out. So the other thing is I'm proud of our sci-fi group because we do a lot of stuff to help others. And I've been a volunteer person since I was 18, helping out in the community. And I never expected to get help when I needed it. And a lot of help has happened. So it is never going to be alone. you put in the work to help others, others will help you. It's something that I never thought I would actually experience. So from now on, my thing is I'm going to encourage people to get checked out, because if you wait, you might not make it. But if you go at that first thing, you will make it. And there will be people to encourage you. I have super managers that I worked with from over 10 years ago contacting me. I have coworkers contacting me daily. I have these people right here contacting me daily. So and I have church members that know me contacting me daily. So if you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, there is always somebody to talk to. We've always been the 22 a day people that says, hey, we want to talk to you. Somebody's going to miss you. So that's my little medical spill of the thing. So that one and this one are going to MakerCon in Orlando tomorrow. And they are going to be representing us for Humanities 101, Klingon Assault Group, and Starfleet International.
Who was?
How many hats are you gonna wear?
Well, I've started making a costume that splits. It's Starfleet from the left and Klingon from the right.
And the Humanities 101, we're all autistic, so that works either way.
Yeah.
So the micro accommodation thing, that is one of those things that just makes sense with our group.
We've got a bucket of goodies for that.
Yeah, there's 45 plus zipper fidget bracelets. There's a bunch of spinner fidgets in there. There's non-speaking communication tools in there. There's cards. One of the things that, if you can mention while you're there, they're looking for people to do surveys, because that's how they build the classes and the support groups. So, and I think there's a couple earplugs in there. That's the next thing that I need to reload. But Drew and Mike are going to be the head of that. Unfortunately, with the treatment, I really should not be going to a big con like that is indoors. I will be, unless I'm super sick and I can't make it, I will be doing Syfy Barto, because that will be outdoors, and I should be safe.
Sick, I'll put him in a wheelchair and he'll still go to Syfy Barto.
Might need to borrow the wheelchair. However, that is one thing. I am using a cane now for shopping and stuff, because the pain has been pretty great, and I have been a little bit unstable. That is one thing that once I went into the hospital, I can't bring myself back to getting my full 8 hours plus of working right now. I'm trying to build up again, but good thing
I do have one question for you,
Huh?
When we do find the chair, Mike and I were curious, did you want just a standard V4 or did you want a V6 motorcycle engine on that sucker?
Let's go with the Viper V12.
Okay, he wants the four-wheel drive suspension. Got it. I'm sorry we don't have those little hexagons that change shape, style, and everything. Sorry, I apologize for that.
That's a joke, but
he hasn't paid them yet.
I take anything I will get, and yeah, today was the first day I felt, other than working on my room, which I reorganized this whole room, made it so that two people can come visit me and be comfortable. But the other thing is I don't have to sit in this chair right here where I sleep all the time. I actually have a comfortable couch over here that I can sit in, and I've been actually moving around, and it feels more comfortable over there. And I have access to everything, and it's a lot more organized. You're not seeing this side of my room is basically where my clothes are stacked up and stuff like that, and I've got the med stuff and all. In this side, it's the studio, but it's got my chair in it. I moved my desk over. I have all my TVs, both of my TVs here, so I can, when I want to play the game, I haven't been wanting to play the game system I got. It's there, and I can watch TV. So it's all set up differently. I spent the last 2 weeks doing it, and I was limited to about an hour and a half of work. After that, I'd be exhausted the rest of the day. Today was the first day where I was like, I feel pretty good. I'm going to go out and mow the lawn. My muscles told me I was an idiot. While I got
I am not shocked.
While I got through the third of the lawn, my muscles reminded me that I haven't done anything that physical in 3 weeks. And yeah, it felt good to get out there, and I was able to accomplish what I needed to on that corner of the lawn. But I'm going to take my time to finish it. Fortunately, it is the winter month, so the lawn will not grow back. Well, yeah, in Florida, typically you can ask Drew, during this time of year, you don't have to pay to mow the lawn every week like it happens over the summer. So once this gets down, it will be something where I can go outside and get sunlight. That's the other thing. I've been trying to go outside at least half an hour a day to get my vitamin D, because the vitamin D helps you process everything else. I have a bucket of holistic medicine, one painkiller that the cancer doctor asked me, do you have any painkillers? I'm like, no, they told me I couldn't take aspirin. It makes me bleed. No naproxen, none of that stuff. So I have Tylenol. Well, let me explain about Tylenol, and it don't do shit. He goes, would you like some? I went, please. And then he asked me, what do I want? I said, there is one I don't want, Vicodin. And this is because if you ever watch House, about halfway through the series, he starts seeing things on Vicodin. That's the only effect I get from that. I don't get painkiller. So I was at a drug rehab for teenage boys getting high because I was on workman's comp and had that prescribed. And I'm like, well, this don't help with the pain, but I do see bunnies. And I thought it was interesting that I could get high all I wanted, but the kids couldn't. So, yeah, he goes, well, this is a lower dose version of morphine. I'm like, I know morphine works. I'll take that. And
there aren't too many people that morphine don't work on.
Yes, I know this. This one over here. Wait, that one.
That one? That one?
This one over here punched a guy for trying to give him morphine.
Well, that seems reasonable. I assumed that Drew at least said, no, don't give me morphine first. And then they were like, no, we'll give you morphine. And then you punched him. But
yeah, but here's the scary thing. Then they made a synthetic morphine out of bee venom. So they offered me that. I said, and I'm fatally allergic to bee stings. Get the out of here.
Go find me a new doctor.
Yeah. So
that's pretty bad.
So we do know the person that it works on. and we know the person that doesn't work on. So we have both in the same area. But it does help. The only problem is I cannot take it and drive.
Well, obviously.
Basically, halfway through the night, it runs out, and I wake up in a little bit of pain and go, "Oh, I got an appointment today, damn it." So while I can take it 4 times a day, I'm stuck at home and going, "Oh, I'm tired. It feels good to sleep." So, like I said, I am working on things. I got an offer to check out my resume when I redo it from a previous HR person that I had met. So I actually have that going to happen. So when I start looking for a sit-down job, I do have that. So like I said, you never know who you'll meet in life, and being nice makes a big difference. So sci-fi. I haven't really been watching sci-fi. Any new sci-fi?
Lower Decks was last week. We started last weekend. Or last Thursday, right?
It did? Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta catch up.
Yeah, so I think there should be like 3 episodes out.
Yeah.
There were two for the first week, and then there should have been one yesterday.
Is this the last season of Lower Decks too?
Yes, it is the last season of Lower Decks, and that is a crime.
Yes.
Just pure crime.
Well, they're doing all these last seasons because everyone's afraid of Star Trek.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, did you ever finish Discovery?
You know who's in my house, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm gonna go. No, we didn't.
Hey, Drew, come visit me. We'll watch Discovery in a loop.
I want to binge it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because you got to see that last episode. Dude, like I said,
Oh, yeah.
to me, it's the best ending of a Star Trek show ever.
The surfing through the warp bubble, that's the last one I've seen.
So to be fair, I mean, that'll probably be it's the best ending of a Star Trek episode or Star Trek series until Lower Decks does their last episode. Because there's almost no chance that is not going to kick ass and take names.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched Prodigy, you got to watch Prodigy on, is it Netflix now?
Yep.
I'd have to dig up where it is because I don't.
Yes,
I
it's on
think
Netflix.
That was even worth it. And I'm saying, that's a kid's show? Oh, wait. I'm from the 80s. All the cartoons were adult shows.
Yes, it's a kid's show.
Kids.
I'm 7.
Yeah, no shit. And now if I have a person that's new to Star Trek, I go, just watch Prodigy. If you like Prodigy, you'll like the rest of the stuff.
An interesting starting point, but all right.
It's either that or Discovery. And Discovery is weird at first. So you either like it or you...
The hilarious part is that I like the first 2 seasons. Or I like it more than I like the rest of it.
Granted, I'm just saying there are a lot of Star Trek fans that hate the first 2 seasons. So you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I sit there and go that Discovery was the most like I could see Discovery as a Star Trek show in the first 2 seasons, and I do not understand the point of view of people not understanding, like not seeing it as a Star Trek show in the first 2 seasons. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I can see it as a Star Trek show. I just couldn't see it as before James Kirk.
And there's always going to be a problem with that's always going to be an issue, right? Because of the fact that
That is
Dark
the only
ones
thing,
are-
because, like me, unlike everybody who's watched the remastered, I watched the original broadcast. And it's kind of like, wait, time out. No, that don't work.
And Richard,
So-
when he sees that last episode, it'll mess with his head just from that statement.
All right, wow. Fair.
But
I have opinions of Discovery. We all know that.
yeah, but
You know, other than that, Discovery is a great program. That's the only thing that caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, whoa, what? Wait, no.
yeah. Now, Lower Decks is amazing too. We got in between that and Picard, so we got 4 things that all came out about the same time. They were amazing. I'm waiting for Academy. I'm waiting for
Section 31.
Section 31. Thank you.
Oh, hey, it's Michelle Yeoh. Who's not waiting for that? I'm just
I mean, I
saying.
I recently heard something about like, oh, what about Section 31 is not good. I'm like, excuse me, has Michelle Yeoh in it? I don't even like Section 31 as a concept. I will watch the shit out of this for sure.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
That's like they can do Star Trek Marines, Starfleet Marines, and put Halle Berry in it. And it's like, okay, everybody's watching Halle Berry. We don't care.
Well, no, I'm going to go a better one.
Legacy with Jerry Ryan.
Anything with Jason Momoa.
I
You're gonna
mean,
drive the ladies crazy. There you go.
I literally said, you got to watch C. It's an amazing movie, TV show. And then I said to the person, it's Jason Momoa. They went, oh, I don't care if it's a good one. I'm just going to watch it. So
that was like when he was in Conan.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong with as a movie by itself. There was nothing wrong with that movie. It was really good. It just did not have as much Conan feel as it needed to.
yep.
It still had Conan feel because it did have like it was not classic high fantasy. It was in that sort of swords and sorcery genre.
If we didn't have
Just
Schwarzenegger's Conan,
well, yeah. Also,
it would have been top notch.
However,
Because Jason is an incredible performer. He can pull it off.
C actually
well, yeah.
could be the blind Conan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did so much better in that sword and whatever as a blind person than he did as Conan.
Well, look at the was it the second or the third season of Atlantis when he was temporarily he and Shepard were blinded for a short period of time. The gentleman that plays Shepard, you're kind of like, oh no, that dude can see everything going on the set. Jason never moved his eyes from dead front center. You're kind of like, damn, how do you pull this off? You know,
Yeah. I have to admit, I mean, you know, you got to give any actor props to make Aquaman like
real.
Something worth seeing. Like,
Yeah.
as much as I don't want to bash DC's Aquaman, because you know, characters, there's nothing really wrong with the character. It's just in a world where movie and screen adaptation is mediocre at best, and DC is worse than normal. It was still amazingly well done, And while not necessarily hitting all the marks of the character through comics, at least it was a faithful adaptation in comparison to many superhero movies.
Right.
There were elements that were not, but there were definitely parts of the character that were reflected, despite the fact that the visuals were all sort of wonky and screwy.
Right.
But
Well,
Yeah.
you
other than
figure
that, really good.
at one point it would have been what? Green screen and cartoons or models.
Yeah.
And now it's CGI. And trying to do the interfaces is still, it's good. It's damn good. Don't get me wrong. They've been at it a while.
Yeah.
But it's still not spot on yet.
No, I mean, when you sit and go on how much stuff has come out since Jurassic Park,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And how varied each kind of group effects are in comparison to each other. And then you're still dealing with the fact that Jurassic Park is still some of the best ever.
Right. And when you look at CGI, most people don't realize, what was it? Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, the Genesis planet, that's the very first use of CGI in a film.
By Industrial Light and Magic.
And Industrial Light and Magic has always been in the forefront on that.
Yeah, they did wonderful
And
stuff.
People don't get that connection, but when you start talking to people and you point out, well, came into that, this came into that, this came into that, they all kind of like, wow, and then they want to go see something to compare.
I mean, Industrial Light and Magic has done lots of effects for Star Trek in post.
Right.
The series,
Star Wars
and movies.
In Star Wars: The Revenge of the Jedi, the shot that it actually created a video game was literally the first computer program written for a movie.
Right.
So it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute, folks. Sci-fi is the only reason we have any of this stuff.
It's true.
So when you go, I don't like that stuff, stop. Put the brakes on. If you want to see what's coming up the pike, check out Sci-fi.
Because it is where it's where that stuff starts.
Right.
More often than not, yes. I mean, you have to be a gamer of a certain age to remember vector graphics and sort of that stuff. Because yeah. But I mean, like all the vector stuff that they were doing, which they did in Star Wars and they did in Empire Strikes Back and in Return of the Jedi. Which by the Return of the Jedi, I think the vector only existed because that was consistent.
Right.
Because they could have rendered it differently, but they were like, no, this is the established technology.
Right. But that gave them a jump point for everything else.
Oh yeah, no, huge amount of jump of like
people don't get where all of these things come from. Is somebody says, I need this, and a company like Industrial Light and Magic, who have so many people of such incredible talent, are like, you need a what? Where? They think everything was Pixar. Everybody already knows how to do all this stuff. No. Not to try to dampen you, but used to be when somebody was getting their neck broken, it wasn't a recording. It was somebody twisting celery stalks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lightning was a
They
shoot.
still do that. That's still how sound construction is largely made.
Yes, I know.
It's just editing samples, and you take stuff, and I'm like, how do I get that effect? Well, okay, I
Yes,
do
and then
this.
you can-
That sounds sort of what I want. Maybe slow it down.
Yeah, and they've got
Oh,
three
that's
to
0.4
5 frequency bands. Okay, well, let's bring that one up a little bit and let's slow that down.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays a person can do it all using tools
Yeah, now they all have it presets.
rather than using an entire like fiddling on a board for 4 or 5 hours and going through recording and recording and recording and recording and recording and going, is that right? No, that's not right.
Yeah, you got a board with
you
a
just
quarter of an
throw
inch
it
of
in the
sand
thing.
on it. You've got a board sitting a hollow wooden box about that thick.
Yeah.
You got a microphone that's under the table, and you're literally sitting here with 2 coconuts. And people are like, "What?" Well, that's how they do it, guys.
Yeah.
I think that's the king. He doesn't have any shit on him.
Oh, I think it's blasters that are a guide wire being hit, and then they just fiddle with it. They just fiddle with it a little bit.
Lightning is basically a sheet of metal that they go.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, that's really old technology because that goes back to Shakespeare's time because the phrase "feel my thunder" has to do with
right. And what's really funny is they went to the long, thin, wide sheet of metal for that, and they had to go back to Shakespeare's 8-inch wide, 3 feet long, because the tone qualities were wrong. And nobody caught up with it until Game of Thrones. It's kind of like, okay, you guys have not paid attention to the sound, and you're all supposed to be professional soundmen.
Mhm.
And you bring out this old codger who goes, that sounds like shit. This is how you do it.
exactly.
However, the big sheet, only if you're doing it for a stadium, you need the big sheet.
Oh yeah. Application is always right. Context. What was it? What does Steve Fry say? Context. Shit, I can't remember. It's context. I just was watching this today. Anyways.
So I thought it was funny when Mighty Python actually had the guy behind the king clapping the coconuts as they were going down the road.
Wow. It's realistically, that entire movie is just gag to gag to gag to gag to gag with the very loosest thread running through it all.
Which movie? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Mighty Python.
The Holy Grail?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That has to be the king. How do you know that? He doesn't have any shit on him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just think, we'd all be kings because we wouldn't have shit on us.
It's the killer rabbit. Spam, spam,
Bring
spam,
out your
spam.
dead. I'm not dead yet. Can you help me with this?
I feel like going for a walk.
Nobody escapes the Inquisition. They have torn that into so many
no
different.
arms and legs.
I have to admit, though, there is a couple people, or a trio of people, who do the Spanish Inquisition thing at CalgaryCon, and they've done it. They haven't done it every year in a row, but they've done it a number of years. And then when I bump into them, it's always like, as I expected.
How you doing, Mike? Can't hear you.
I'm alive. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
I
God.
haven't seen anybody go past you. I'm not used to this.
He's selling cell phones. You hear him? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, I'm just doing the commercials. I'm trying to collect my quarter per commercial.
You know,
I
that
gotta
quarter
say,
cost you $1. If I were you, I'd back up while you have a chance.
It sounds really good tonight. What did you do different?
What? His voice?
Yeah, the sound is a lot better than before. Oh, you got a new computer.
His
That's right.
sound.
Yeah, the sound
That's
should be
what it is.
fixed.
Yep. Because I
We can
remember
hear you.
you were a lot quieter.
Yeah, this
Now
is
it
what
sounds-
happens when you set a 10-pound sledge in front of your computer and say one mistake.
It just laughs at you and says, "No, I paid the bill."
The AI guys in the back go, leave him alone tonight.
Well, speaking of sledge, I finally found my maul from when I did the survival training. It was
Okay.
buried in one of the sheds at my aunt's house.
I see.
Did you name it Darth? Just out of curiosity.
I should, after I sand it down from all the rust, I should paint it black and call it Darth Maul. That would be funny. But I don't think any con will allow me to carry that one.
No, see, if you do that, if I may make a suggestion, you bring it over to Kim and say, look, I found Darth Maul.
Yeah. Laugh her ass off.
You should put red on the handle end.
Technically, the handle
Paint it all black, and then just like the last 6 inches.
Don't forget red nail polish lightning bolts all the way across. Somebody's beeping.
What are you watching, Mike?
Grimm's.
That's what it is.
TV
It's a
show.
TV show.
Plus, I'm watching the print.
Ah,
I'm 3D printing
Really?
too. Mm-hmm.
so
Anyways. So now that everyone's pictured Monica in a Star Trek uniform, we can move on.
oh, he said friends. Oh shit. No. Oh, damn it. Why? Why would you put that image in my head?
Which one? Is it Mike?
So it can never get out.
Monica in a Star Trek uniform.
I mean, I didn't say Phoebe in a Star Trek uniform.
Now I'm pitching all three. Let's. I'm now picturing Kim as a Star Trek uniform. She's always in Star Wars. Let's get her in a Star Trek uniform.
Who?
Kim.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I feel left out.
Hold on.
Can be remedy.
Are you going to tell her that you've got 5 guys on a show that want to see her in a Starfleet uniform?
Yes.
Okay.
Why not?
Then you invite her.
She was supposed to come to the thing, but the hurricane stopped it. We were going to see Kim in a pirate theme. Come on.
Oh, I know, right?
Should I show the one in her Stormtrooper?
That's not probably going to show it.
That's not a flattening picture of Kim.
I don't know. I kind of like this one.
Name picture?
Hold on. There you go.
Yeah. I remember that too.
Okay, hold on. Let me find a good one though.
That's a clone trooper.
Yeah.
I thought they were all clones.
She's the right height for Tech though. Here, that one will work. I'd have to find the one of Mia Kim, and I'm going to go with this one instead.
Okay.
That's funny.
That was also at one of our cons that we did.
Yeah, that skipper's really good, eh?
You should have seen Gilligan
Yeah, Gilligan was really good.
carrying one of those radios from the TV show.
Look, the only thing I remember realistically is there was an episode where the telephone line washed up on the beach.
Yes.
And there were color-coded vines. Also, I just want to say, I know it's not super sci-fi, although there's a certain amount of Gilligan's that seems like it should be like some sort of punk kind of sci-fi, given the professor's hobbies. But can we have more millionaires like Mr. Powell? Because that would be really good. Because he can a jab in comparison. So
Yes, you just got to make sure he's not Harvard. Oh. Jim Backus, nice guy.
I'm actually looking for the pic. Oh, here. This is how we met Kim.
oh no. Oh wow. That is a really good Jedi outfit. I have to admit, that's a really good Jedi.
She actually has the only what's the Jedi?
Yeah, I
shit.
know. All right.
The main Jedi in 4, 5, and 6. Damn it.
Ray.
No.
Not
Ray.
Ray.
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan.
She has a perfect Obi-Wan general cosplay.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, the guy that does the voice in the cartoon, she's got a video of him saying she's the only one that can do his cosplay because how good her Obi-Wan cosplay of him is. And she does it as a team. She pretty much exact cloned his uniform, including all the armor and everything.
Oh yeah, by the way, she makes her own.
The Fire Force threatened to kick her out because of it. Because there can only be one Obi-Wan. The 151st unit said that. So,
well, I mean, there's a whole thing there of, but there are more than one Obi-Wans.
But when the person that does the voice in all the cartoon, all the Clone Wars, goes, "Damn, this is a perfect uniform."
Oh yeah. I have
But
a,
saw
I have a
that
friend,
when I was
I
like,
have a friend who has equal praise from the author of a particular comic book. However, said author is in a bit of off water, so I'm not going to mention names. But her cosplay was approved by the author because it was
Sweet.
so good. So
but yeah, Kim is an amazing cosplayer. But the hurricanes kept her from coming to the pirate theme party.
She's just flat out right an amazing person.
well, that's good.
And she fits my favorite cartoon phrase. Hello, nice. She happens to be a nurse.
So you mean the one from Animaniacs, right?
Yeah. Yep. Drew, keep one of those non-speaking stickers for her.
Oh,
That she
it's already
didn't come-
saved out. It's right here.
Okay. Just making sure. That was the main disappointment. I wanted to get that to her for her work. But let's see, what else? We talked sci-fi, we talked cosplay, we talked health. Oh, gaming.
Do you want a checklist?
And I have to do a checklist, and I have to repeat it because I can't remember everything now. I'm going to be starting on TikTok. One of the people asked me to be the DM for a TikTok live of we're going to be teaching people how to play D&D and actually running a game. So the people asking in the chat, I decided that it will be environmental. So some of those suggestions might affect the group. So, and we're going to be using 5e, not the new rules, because I don't know all the new rules yet. So
No one can know all the new rules. Like only one
out for a
book's
week.
out, and then I think there are a couple people who have been given a DMG in advance.
Yeah,
But it's not even all out yet. So
right.
don't feel like you're like behind the 8 ball there. I mean, lots of people haven't even seen the 24.
Yeah. So I figured play it kind of like Deborah, what's her name, from Vampire Diaries does.
Sure.
Did in that interview to teach this stuff. So I want it to be fun, but I want it to interest other people. So we're going to be doing that, starting that coming up in the next couple of weeks on TikTok. So something else to keep my mind from going blah while I'm taking these treatments.
Fair.
So,
I am playing not online, but I am kind of online, but not like viewable. I am playing in a Star Trek Adventures set around the retirement or just after the retirement of Picard.
cool.
Yes, I am playing Dr. Randy Samuel Quincy.
Quincy.
My brain doesn't work with that one.
Do you remember the or have ever seen the show Quincy, where that Emmy from LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corner.
Examiner, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Corner.
I'm sitting
Love
there
that
going, I know Quincy, but it doesn't make sense in my Star Trek brain to go, I have never heard that in Star Trek. I heard it elsewhere.
Right.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. So
using that as background.
He had his own show.
I basically So I'm about 45. I got gray temples. I enlisted in Starfleet just before the Dominion War. I was gonna be in investigations, but then the Dominion War happened, and they were like, "You're a doctor." That's not what I trained for. I got the bedside manner of a saber cat. Well, yeah, but we need you anyways, and half the time your patients will not care what your bedside manner is. Just save their lives.
That's what they said in the Civil War as the barbers were cutting people's legs off.
I mean, all they can do is like, here, take this double shot of rum, and hopefully it'll help.
Yeah.
You think that'll work?
And burn. I'm not allowed to drink right now. So, yeah, I don't know. But that should be interesting.
He could do a few shots of rum if he was at my house. Hello, Sharon.
Hey, how you doing?
He can do a couple from here. I've got rum.
I'm just going to say, after Victoria drank like half a liter of alcohol, do you have any left?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. You don't know, Richard, you don't understand. There was more alcohol consumed this year with less people than the last 5 years put together.
Hey, that's not all my fault.
That's
No.
right. You had to be pirates. As pirates, we
That's
have
right.
to drink. It's part of the code.
That's right.
I love how Drew said it isn't all my fault.
That's because Drew was
That's okay.
racing Victoria to see who got drunker.
When my daughter said, "That's it, you're cut off," Daryl spins around, looks at her, and says, "Noelle, it's his house. It's not like he's driving anywhere."
That's true.
That's fair.
And I'm going to say, Drew gets to be a touchy-feely drunk.
You didn't complain that night.
I'm just glad that you aren't.
Ran right into that, going, "Get me, get me, get me."
I'm just glad that you didn't replicate Victoria's drunk.
I was going to. That one drives me.
Go back.
She almost hit the ground a couple of times because she started talking to this one and then ended up talking to that one.
Which one?
The imaginary people in her head.
There's a lot of them.
And going, woo! And then I didn't find out about her stealing the 7 drinks from people until after the hospital.
Yeah, someone would set their drink down because they're talking. Victoria would sneak up and go, boink. Okay, it's her 31st birthday party. Legally, it's allowed.
So it was like a frat party.
Pretty much.
There
wasn't enough women for that.
Down, it won't.
Without
it won't be
the
there.
side games.
However, she didn't end up in the pool. Otherwise, it would have been a frat party.
Are you in a frat, Richard?
No.
Why'd you bring up Greek?
Because it is a stereotypical thing in popular media about rats drinking. This is not something I need lots of stuff for.
As a matter of fact, I'm still listed in there.
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest. Like,
for life,
the university I went to doesn't allow rats.
Oh man, that's terrible.
No, they just sit there and have colleges instead.
The one I went to, Okay, the one that I joined the fraternity at no longer allows them. So the whole chapter just moved to the other school. I went to 2 colleges.
I went to a tech school. There wasn't anything there except for older people. I was the 18-year-old, and everybody else was like 60.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 60-year-olds.
I am literally sitting there and going like, they were 35. He just didn't know it. He just thought everybody was old.
No. The ones that I said are 60 are 60, and they told me about things that I didn't want to hear about, like the guy with the. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna
probably.
say,
Never
don't
mind.
point to me. It wasn't me.
Well, obviously not. When he was 18, you were not 60.
Yes, but he went.
You were only 180.
No. No. The picture's bad enough. I walked out and they were talking about a hookup, and I'm just looking at them going, I'm too young for this shit. And I walked back in the building and went, no.
You know, I have to admit that it's really interesting that there was a fine actress on Sex and the City who was also in Undiscovered Country.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how those two things got coordinated together, but they did.
Yes, but this same performer was in Porky's.
Well, yeah.
When she was way
In the locker
younger.
room scene. Just.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, yes. If you're gonna bring up, like Canadian B comedy stuff, yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Can't be older.
Hey, Drew, does this
Porky's
thing,
was hilarious.
Here's a full set of here.
does this one unscrew?
Oh, see? Oh, God.
The actor.
It hasn't aged well, though. As much of that particular genre has not aged well.
No.
Go right here. Right here.
Oh, watch him. He's got a knife.
That's it. I'm
Does this
thinking.
one unscrew? I can't remember if the top on this one unscrews. And I can't unscrew this one. It's
Which
the one
one?
we got from the survival knife thing we got from the store.
I think it
over by
does.
the-
Mine's in there somewhere.
Have to figure that out. I did realize that it's a bayonet.
I will be back in a moment. I've got to get some medication.
Soon. I will be on that medication soon. And I'll go to sleep. But so how do we get on Porky's again?
We were talking about Undiscovered Country and Sex and the City, and then Kim from that is we were talking about in that is in Porky's
Okay.
apparently.
So the guy
I
that
haven't
played
seen
on
Porky's
Revenge
in
of
like 30 years, so
So the guy that played on Revenge of the Nerds as Vader was also in. He also played the part in. What the fuck is that movie again? My Schwartz is as big as your Schwartz.
Spaceballs.
Baseball.
Didn't he play the main character in Spaceballs?
Who?
I don't think so because that's Bill Pullman, who plays Lone Star. Unless we're thinking of different characters in Revenge of the Nerds, but I'm like,
Revenge of the Nerds, the main guy dressed up like Darth Vader and
I
took
don't
the
think that's
cheerleader.
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman played the guy with the big helmet?
No, that's Rick Moranis. That is also not true because Rick Moranis isn't tall enough to play that.
Yeah.
The actor from
Pretty sure Rick was
Honey, I
doing
Shrunk the Kids.
TV at the time of Revenge of the Nerds. And I left my phone upstairs, so I can't look anything up.
And I think it is the same guy, Rick Moranis. What else did he play in?
Your phone.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he's in Ghostbusters. I don't think he's tall enough to play the guy in Nerds.
I can go get mine.
No, he may not be.
Would it be easier just to go to Revenge of the Nerds and do from there?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Come on, it's farther back than that. Spaceballs. I guess not. Okay, who is the character that played Revenge of the Nerds?
I don't know. I don't think he did much afterwards. But that was a tall, lanky guy, so I'm like, it couldn't be Rick. Rick's short. Also, arguably, he was a bigger name from being in Ghostbusters
Yes.
than realistically
True.
Revenge of the Nerds would have been. So, like,
Stay there.
Okay, he was Lewis, wasn't he? Yeah, Robert Cardigan.
there we go.
Okay, yeah, different face. Never mind.
I mean, easy to confuse stuff when you're trying to remember it, like, many years later. I mean, somebody asked me today, like, on Facebook, you know, was the Never-Ending Story good because I've never seen it? And I was like, I'm told so. I know I have watched it, but I haven't watched it in 40 years. So I don't remember.
Yeah. Although they could be brothers. Give me a second.
I guess. That doesn't seem likely.
There's Rick.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not the one.
They
That,
could be. I'm saying they could be brothers. They got very similar faces.
I suppose.
in what
Insert-
universe?
Yeah, insert joke.
Hey, your mom and your your dad and your met with two different women. What are y'all making over there?
Knives.
Oh, playing with the knives?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I'm making
I
more.
know I saw like with a knife, but all of a sudden you had multiple things, so I didn't know what you were using.
Yeah, the halves and halves, and then I put them together.
Ah.
Yep.
So is the car all packed up?
No, I'll do that in a little bit before I go to bed. Pack the car.
Ah, you packed the car.
Yep.
Yeah, I got an SCA thing tomorrow, so I need to pack before.
Yeah, he's got to go pick up Drew because unfortunately Drew can't drive that far like this.
Yes, that is fair.
And because I'm out of commission, I can't get him over there right now.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay.
That is a little bit out of my range right now.
Mike, don't mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
I need pictures though. Somebody's got to remember to take pictures.
Okay.
pictures taken Photographs.
Yeah. At least I can do the TikToks and post the TikToks of what happens, so that we have documented proof.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, I will take a picture of the table.
Yeah, if nothing else. Although I
I,
wasn't at the last event.
I took 45 pictures at the
birthday
party.
Yeah. I think me, you, my mom, there was a lot of pictures at that party.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the first year that other than me took pictures. Because
There's plenty of evidence.
Oh, there was some great costumes at the pirate party.
Yes.
Of
We
course,
posted.
the funniest thing was Josiah going, "How the hell do y'all have more money than me?"
Yeah.
Well.
Anytime anybody left money on the table, there was like 3 women stealing the money off the table and putting it in their pockets.
Yep.
Just terrible. You know what the pirate code says? It says don't steal from each other.
No. It says don't get caught stealing from each other.
That's not what it says.
Oh, that's what it says. Yeah.
I have it somewhere. It's just
They
not
murdered
handy.
this guy, and he came back as a new character.
It's like D&D.
Yep. He literally re-rolled into the
Baby.
Mountie or whatever. I don't know what his character was because I was kind of in pain after cooking and had to take a nap. Now I knew that it wasn't from cooking; it was from other things.
Right.
But that chicken was really good. We got to do that again, Mike.
Yeah. The chicken was good. I ate it. It says a lot.
Yeah.
Does
I
it say a
thought
lot?
Well, Richard, the charcoal actually was going cold. I had to put fresh charcoal in, and it
He just wanted to see the flames.
it singed the crap out of the chicken and cooked it even better than when we were using it without the flames.
Yeah.
The stuff without the flames was still there. The stuff that I made that way was gone. Like, okay, everybody got it.
Right.
The chicken was pretty good.
Karen said she hated the chicken.
I did not. It was pretty
On
good.
the plus side, we all heard what was said. Mike fools no one.
Exactly. Mike doesn't eat everybody's cooking. I can tell you that.
No, I'm very fussy.
Yeah. As a
Extremely.
matter of fact, we were at the Chinese place in Kingsland, and Mike said, "Screw this! I'm going to get pizza."
Yep.
Correct. I don't do sushi.
Hey, I'm just gonna say, Mike was right.
Yeah. Pizza was
The
better.
hilarious thing that I have found recently, going through dating profiles because I'm single and it sucks. But we won't get into that. The interesting thing is just how many people, well, in this particular case, of women who sushi is their favorite dish.
Ugh.
It's your favorite food. I'm like, it's a good 40%.
Well, technically,
I believe it.
an aphrodisiac.
Oh well, I mean, cool.
But when you fuck up green tea at a Chinese place, yeah, I made the mistake of saying,
it's not just the water.
yeah, no shit. Like I said, Mike was correct at going to get the pizza that night when we were up there, Drew.
Yes.
I spent half the money and had a better dinner.
Well, fortunately, we didn't have to spend any money that night.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, and then y'all went to that one without me, and Mike actually stayed. That's what surprised me, was when he didn't go get pizza and I saw him sitting at the table.
Yeah.
I'm like, is Mike actually got food in front of him at the Chinese place?
Yeah. I didn't really like it, but everybody
No,
wanted
but
me to come to the party, so I went.
I'll tell you what. If we go to the buffet near Drew's, that place has some good Chinese food.
Yes.
And their
Even
tea
Mike
is
liked it.
perfect.
Eddie's
If
near
we-
Drew's.
If we go to the Mike's Chinese, I think it's called, the one near Big Lots, that food is good.
Eddie's, yes.
Eddie's.
Yes, Eddie, yes.
Kingsland can kiss my ass. That's nasty.
Yes, it was.
Like I said, you mess up green tea. It's literally hot water, a bag, and a little bit of honey.
How can you mess that up?
They do it. It was a tough task, but somebody had to do it.
Okay.
I don't know, but it was
Were they,
nasty.
were they serving it in glasses?
Ceramic.
Oh, that's not.
Those little teacups supposed to be.
I remember we get tea when I lived in Toronto, and we'd go to like actual Chinese places owned by Chinese people who were catering to Chinese people, not white people.
Okay.
For some reason, they love to give you tea, hot tea in glasses.
Ew.
I'm like, I understand that your ceramics don't, but if you put it in glass, it's hot. What am I supposed to do here?
Drink it.
I would have taken that over whatever they gave us.
Oh, I'm sure
Because-
it was much better, but like,
It was like they gave us dishwater.
no, maybe they did.
I wouldn't be
And
surprised.
the sushi actually had that flavor too.
Oh.
Now that I think about it. So, Mike, you
I
are
think
right.
the only thing that didn't was that those tempura fried vegetables I had.
The Mike liked the donut looking things.
Yeah.
That was pretty good though. The dessert at the end.
Oh, yes.
That was the only thing that tasted good.
The
It
desserts
was.
are always good when they're hidden in sugar.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but if you ask
Yeah.
Sharon, nothing tops Bucky's fudge.
Oh yes, that's
no.
gotta be.
What I wouldn't
Is that a
give
gas
for
station?
a couple of chocolate covered espresso beans right now from Bucky's.
Actually, it's a bathroom rest stop with a small store inside.
Wait, a bathroom? No, it is the world's largest bathroom
Yep.
Yep.
with a old fashioned Walmart, the one that doesn't have food in it, attached.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it obviously has food in it because we just talked about Bucky's fudge.
Yes, it's got a bunch of food in it.
Oh, it's got brisket too.
right. I always tease Sharon when we're going up there. I say, look, they say they're out of fudge. There's no fudge left. She's like, oh, no, there is for Sharon. There is for Sharon.
I
There
think
will be
she threatened
fudge.
you. If you
If there's
leave
not
without my
fudge, I'm
fudge,
taking
I
it
will
apart.
alive you.
There's either
That one
fudge or
time.
I'm beating those people to death.
Oh yeah.
Bucky's has a wall the size of my room of beef jerky.
Yeah.
Yes.
It also has a wall of snack nuts the same size.
Mhm.
Then it has a whole house my size full of blankets, pillows, and towels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking full hides here, hanging, just full, complete hides.
I wasn't to that yet. They skin animals, and there's animal skins hanging. And you're like, this makes no sense. And you go, are we at a convenience store, or are we at a
But the convenience store, it's the biggest convenience store I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you
But-
can get gas.
Richard, there's 50 bathrooms in the men's and 50 bathrooms in the women's bathroom.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not talking about urinals. I'm talking
Well, you
about
ain't gonna find any
stalls.
urinals in the women's washroom.
You never know.
There might be.
With the way society is now, there might be.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, yeah,
I'm
but
just-
you don't have to put men's or women's on it. You just put unisex in it,
Yep.
and it's done. Everybody over here.
Yeah, instead of bathrooms, put party house. Yeah, you know.
I think there's 20 urinals and the 50 stalls.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. 50 stalls. I could sort of picture that.
Yeah, they're like. I mean, you could put my house in one of their bathrooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huge.
It is huge.
They're handicapped
bris-
now.
I mean,
Big
I've seen pictures of the outside, and I'm like, that doesn't look like what I'm being told it is. It looks like a Walmart. I mean, they're huge.
And they
They're
got,
warehouse.
they got
The brisket
pumps
cooking
basically
area
on
is
two
big as
sides of
my
the
house.
building. You know, you go to a gas station, you see 3 pumps, you're lucky. You go there and there's like 4 in a row. There's like
Pumps.
20 of these under the awning. It's like, jeez.
There's 75 gas pumps and 15 to 20 electric charging stations.
That's a decent amount of electric charging.
Yeah, that they have their own generators for.
Yeah. The
You know,
first time we went,
They're hooked up to one of those underground tanks of gasoline.
the first time these three took me to Buc-ee's, it took us an hour to get off the highway to go into Buc-ee's.
Yes.
It was that bad.
Mhm.
Well, it's a tourist attraction as
Yep.
well. Like,
It
it's
is.
not just
It is.
a thing, right?
Yeah.
Once we got to Buc-ee's, though, there was no wait for anything.
Nope.
It was just the line to get into the parking lot.
Correct.
I've never not had to wait for a bathroom in a gas station, except for Buc-ee's.
No, I believe it. I mean, I've done enough road
Yeah.
trips.
It's definitely something.
We need a Buc-ee's in Winter Haven.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. Big time.
Right between Winter Haven and Point Siena.
Yep. Then I can
Okay.
get my fudge all the time.
Yes,
I
you would.
thought Wawa was amazing when I first met it.
Yeah.
Buc-ee's makes Wawa goes, you're an amateur.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying the coffee and the food at Wawa is great. It's like the difference of going to a water park and Disney.
Yeah.
Ugh. They really need more Buc-ee's.
John's sitting there trying to figure out what like how a petrol station can look like a Tesco.
However, John, there is a theater over in your neck of the woods that if I ever go to England, I'm going to spend a week just watching the people that work in the front of the store. Because those theater kids are way better than any actor playing in the theater.
Yes.
It's called on TikTok. It's called Front of the House, I think. Is a TikTok, and
This is an house. Can I see your butt?
What the heck?
This seems rather slow.
Okay.
You don't want to just open your FYP on a live stream, man. You never know what you're going to get.
Raccoon and going, oh, you're going to show me your butt?
That's okay. I have to go.
See you, Mike.
But yeah,
I don't know why. People
I
show
don't want to see nobody's butt.
front theater front of the house, and the theater is, where's the name of that dang theater? Southwark, hold on. Southwark Playhouse. John.
Southwark.
I'll start it. SOUTHWARK.
Join us.
Let me pull up the well, I have to turn it. Yeah.
Oh, there's trouble.
Ah,
yes, spelled exactly how I would think it would be spelled.
It's called Southwark. Probably Southwark.
But I found this one and I'm impressed. They are pretty amazing kids. They do a very good job of entertaining on the thing, and people make comments like, do they threaten y'all that you have to do this? And they were like, no, we're theater kids, we do this on our own. But they do all the dances from the plays and stuff like that on TikTok, and it's, if you got the TikTok, it's theater front of the house is their TikTok.
Just remember to spell theater right.
Yes.
That could be a problem.
Gotta have spell check then.
Literally, two of the guys my size did the car wash thing, and one guy spun this way and one guy spun this way, like they were the rollers in the car wash.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. If you have a bad day, just watch one of their videos. But like I said, if I ever get the money to come visit John, I'm going to that theater.
Yes,
But
it's South London, Southwark.
Yeah, you see, the problem is you only have John to go with. I've got like 8 friends there. It's going to be a fight as to which one's going to go see, you know.
all I have to do is go, hey, John, bring your crew.
This is true.
And
Me too. A couple of them came. At least one of them came from me, huh, John?
I was fixing to say, isn't there another ship that we helped launch over there too?
Yes.
John
told me I need to find some more people to join the cruise over there. And I'm trying, John. I really am.
Oh, and unlike certain CS, I'd actually come and see John.
We had a chance to see him.
I was like, how the hell did he miss you?
Well, I got dressed ready to go out, and
You didn't show up.
I was carrying the what's the word? The cup out.
Yeah.
And I couldn't put on one of the runners.
Hey, calm down, buddy.
Easy, baby.
And when you can see it, I sliced from there to there.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
So I was ready. I was dressed up, ready to go.
But I'd still visit your house, man.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't coming to England without seeing Vampire.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't either.
Well, I'm sure we would all at least see vampire if we were in the neck of the woods.
I'm just saying the CS came and didn't see vampire.
Let's see. I got one mate that lives about 3 kilometers from Heathrow, and he drives a Rolls-Royce limousine for a living. And he's already said that he'll swing by, pick me up in the Rolls, and take me anywhere I'd want to go. So I'd go see John in the Rolls in a full Starfleet uniform.
I do know
Sounds
a comedian over there that's a teacher as well.
All right, that only limits it to about 50 people.
See, but I'd have to first win the
He's
lottery,
awesome.
and then let's see. I'd have to get Richard, Mike, Sean, all to go with me.
You're going on a world tour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although if you won the lottery, you just buy the State Farm building already.
Sir, I could just sit there. Sir, why is your backpack clinking? No reason. There's
That's not my
definitely
backpack.
not.
That's my knees. That's not my backpack. That's my knees.
Oh, so I went to visit a friend that had a stroke in Winter Haven Hospital, and we went through the metal detector at Sebring Hospital. Nothing set it off. Wearing the same clothes, right? Go
Right.
to Sebring Hospital, and the buttons on my shorts set off the fucking metal detector.
Jeez,
Well, it vastly depends on how it's set, right?
it's that too sensitive.
Yeah, it's you can fiddle with it a lot. Like I've gone through I've gone through the same metal detector and had it trigger differently. A very
Winter
famous
Haven Hospital thinks that they're
detector in my
protecting the
parents'
president.
Yeah, but you know what's really funny is I go to the airport, they step me through the x-ray machine, and they say, "Excuse me, sir, we've got to wand you." What do they have to wand? My hips, my knees, and my ankles, and my feet. I'm like, are you looking for anything specific? Do you know there's metal in here? Oh, yeah, the kneecaps, the ankles, the...
That's okay.
Yeah.
They wanded the thing and the button set it off on the wand, and then went, "I gotta pat your pockets." I'm like, okay, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Would have been a lot faster.
And then the guy was playing with the wand. He kept going closer and closer to my knee to see how much it would light up. Just
It's going to light up.
he got it about 8 inches away, and the little light bar, you know, that goes off. I mean, that sucker was end to end. He's like, "Sheesh, how big is that?" And I said, "Well, the kneecap, it's about like this."
However,
So-
we might need to go visit Kingsland for one place,
What is that?
the pizza place that fills you up.
The where?
The pizza place that fills you up.
That fills you up.
Remember the New York style pizza that we had at 10 o'clock at night that turns into the Redneck Club?
Oh,
Yeah, the bar that had the two guards that were scared of me.
It's like 35
Yes.
bucks a pizza.
Yeah. It wasn't like that, but it was expensive.
The two guards that were scared of you? Why?
I don't know. I told them that I was going to take the pocket knife back to the truck.
And he
And
did.
then I came back.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I've never been pat down like that by anybody. And I've visited jails.
Well, if you knew what he was really looking for. Just say it.
Yep.
Well, you
Very
let him go,
close.
so we must have found it.
He was finding it. I was like, "Do I need to give you a tip?"
I do
Is that why
remember-
when we left, his partner said, "No, your buddy there is funny."
Yeah.
He said, "I've never seen that man turn that red in my life."
I have to remember one time I was installing a security system in a courthouse in Toronto. And of course, they're just like, "Oh yeah, you're installing stuff." Just they made us skip the thing because obviously we're going to set it off because we're sitting there carrying,
Right.
Let me bring my tools. I'll set off every alarm in the building from the front door.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, okay. They're like, yeah, just go through here. I'm like, yeah. I found out that there are interesting places they have cameras in courthouses.
Yes.
Oh yes.
It's really sad when you go to get an MRI because 5 doctors say they need it, and they go, "I am not turning this machine on with that much metal in your body."
Yeah. Yep.
So the one still they get, that first still when the sensors are up, but it's not really running the magnets.
It
My
hasn't
whole
gone
body looks like a star field. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lady looks at
Why
my
did
hat,
they-
looks at me and goes, "Veteran, huh?" I said, "How can you tell?"
It would seem a little silly for you to get an MRI. True?
I was in an accident and the lawyers wanted an MRI, but it's kind of like, no, we can't do this. This man is peppered with enough metal that, okay, you figure shrapnel.
Yeah.
The fact that I worked with metals when I owned a farm, I did my own grinding, my own welding, my own cutting, my own.
Okay, so I know how the machine works, and I could just see Drew flying up into the top of the machine and getting stuck to the roof when the magnet goes off.
Yeah.
I was in a stand-up,
Oh shit!
and so they're from side to side, and I'm kind of like sitting there, and I said, am I stretching? And the lady's like, no. She looks over. This is the second one. It looks over, and she, the whole thing just shut it all down. She goes, I can't do this. Isn't there a setting like weenie on there somewhere? No.
Oh,
We're going to do a CAT scan on you. No problem.
And the CAT scan machine has a magnet too.
Not as strong
Yeah.
by like about 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even in those, I'm uncomfortable. I can literally feel it moving. It's kind of like, well, Jesus Christ, guys, get this over with. And nothing's
And the
worse
guy
than
took-
an angiogram because they pump that stuff into me and I'm allergic to it already. I feel that going on, and then I start feeling all the metal move. I'm like, oh, Jesus, fucking Christ, get this over with.
When I got taken down to the CAT scan or the MRI, they go, "Oh, this will take 25 minutes." The guy that was taking me, I get there and I went, "Okay, I know how MRIs work." The guy said it's only going to take 25 minutes. Both of the girls that were the techs started giggling and went, "No, it's going to be an hour to an hour and a half."
Yeah,
No,
it's never good when the staff start giggling.
Yeah, I think the head technician came in for the third shot at giving me an MRI. She took one look at the still shot from the screen and she goes, "Is this him?" Yes. She goes, "Okay, watch." Hits it, and I mean, just for a second, you hear the machine start to go. It shuts it off, and she goes, "That's the image. If they don't like it, tell them to shove it." I said, "Did you get an image?" She said, "Yeah, we got a really good one." They wanted your brain. I said, "Oh, so you just got a blank space? You were done?"
Wow.
Just a void.
So, what is the PET scan? That's the one that I don't know.
There's no
I know how the CT scan works. I know how the MRI works.
I'll be
How
perfectly
is it-
honest. The first time you said it is the first time I heard it.
Yep.
I have to
PET
look that
scan,
up.
if I remember correctly, is limited to cancer.
Oh, maybe. Well, that might make some sense of why.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Positron emission tomography PET scanner Nuclear image testing that uses a radioactive tracer to create a 3D image of the inside of the body. In case you're wondering what.
Okay. Yeah, they asked me, are you going to be around kids under the age of 13 or pregnant women? I went, do you want me to be? They went, not for 20 hours after your PET scan. I'm like, oh. They went, you'll be irradiated. I'm like, oh, wait, what?
Look, you'll be Homer Simpson for 20 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only one that I've Oh, so it's kind of like an MRI machine, only radiated. Okay.
Only radiated. Well, at least you'll know what it's like to be in fallout.
Okay, here's the big difference. CAT scans and MRIs are essentially still images. A PET scan actually traces the actual function of whatever you're
Oh,
doing.
okay. Gotcha.
I see.
That's what I said.
Those
That's what
sounds like mumbo jumbo to me.
At least I don't have to
No,
take
it's
that
jumbo
Joe
mumbo.
lightly again.
Why you're always giving Jumbo first shot? I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, Go Lightly can kiss my ass.
No,
It
thank
is
you. I've
made-
seen pictures.
You're starting to get a
made-
line there for your ass, Sean.
Hey, that Go Lightly is poison. That's all I gotta say. Poison. Fucking poison.
Well, technically, all alcohol is poison.
I'd rather drink the alcohol than the Go Lightly.
Well, I mean, I could see that being a thing.
And would do the same
Richard?
thing.
Richard, when people tell me alcohol is poison, I have a Wrath of Khan moment. You lied.
Richard, have you?
Well, I don't
have you had
lie. I'm well aware.
have
In fact,
you
I
had
remember in university, somebody sat there and I was drinking a drink in the pub. And like, why would you be if you walked into a pub, why would you start talking like you're a temperance woman from the 20s? But I do remember in university, somebody said, that's poison? And I'm like, yes, and it's mighty fine poison. Thank you.
Okay, Richard, have you had a colonoscopy yet?
No, I've avoided that so far.
Hold on. I know that everybody else in this chat has had them.
Nope, I haven't.
Go Lightly. Oh, you haven't?
Nope.
You're
haven't.
late. Okay, you're both late.
I have.
Why?
You're supposed
Nope.
to have them at 50.
My poop comes out
Not
clean. I'm good to
Hey,
go.
bitch.
Okay, at least 3 of us have had it.
Well,
Because I know vampire
Canadian standard is 40.
I've avoided it.
So,
Yeah.
Drew, explain
Sorry.
what Go Lightly is.
A disgustingly painful crunch that they use to torture you so that they can shove a camera where a camera does not belong
It is literally a gallon of septic water.
and tell you it's for your own good.
Yep.
Shove it up
That
there.
sounds like the comedian who's sitting there and going. It's like
When I had
You
mine,
might-
the doctor said all of that, and he's like 74 years old. I said, "Have you had one?" He said, "Oh no." And I said, "So you're a torturous psychopath. This is what you just told me." "No, I'm a doctor." I said,
same thing.
I said, "You said 40 years old and at least once every 10 years after that. So you just admitted at your age."
I remember there was a guy on Just for Laughs, comedy show here, originally in Montreal. There was a gentleman on there, and he'd done the act other places too. But he would sit there and go, "Yes," and I'm like, "Is Stain." So the description of getting this colonoscopy was like this. It's like you might experience some slight discomfort. And he's like, "No, Stain." So they're taking pictures of my colon. The pain, the discomfort, which was much more than slight, was in my neck.
Well,
So,
they do the colonoscopy, and that's when they do the trimming of any polyps or whatever.
yeah.
Behind closed doors.
Hope so.
Ronald Reagan, who other U.S. presidents probably had more than anybody. I can quote him now that he's not here to say I didn't say that. He said, "Well, it's like this." He says, "You know what a patent tank is?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "You know what a Sherman tank is?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Well, this is what happens. They give you something to squeeze everything out. Then they bend you. Then they literally lay you on your side, bend your knees up, and they shove a Sherman tank barrel up your." And while doing this, they have somebody tickling the back of your throat, trying to figure out, is there something wrong with your sinuses? This was his description. I said, "Gee, Rod, you have it?" I said, "Gee, you have anything against the doctors?" He said, "Nope, but the idiot that served that, I ordered that, I'm never going back to him again."
So he don't do it in the bar anymore?
That's okay. When I was in England visiting
Oh, shit, that is
Elizabeth,
computer
and,
now.
Philip described it the same way. So I figure Ron was pretty accurate.
That's fair.
So yeah, Go Lightly sucks. And the unflavored version of it that they have at the hospital is worse than the flavored stuff. I didn't know how much worse.
That you do.
Do you know what a barium swallow is?
That's
Exactly.
absolute torture.
Sean, do you know what a barium swallow is?
No.
That's where you have a barium milkshake.
Ugh.
And when I had my colonoscopy, it was right after being scheduled barium swallow. So I got that, then I got the Go Lightly, and then I thought I was going to die. Then I wanted to die, and then they shoved a fire hose in me. I was like,
Oh, and here's the best part of it. They want you to take that gallon and drink it in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yep.
I got 4/5 of the way through at the hospital and went, I'm not touching that shit the rest of the night. And then they went, you're going to the room upstairs. I'm like, good, leave that here.
Yeah, there's always that interesting part that a doctor will tell you never drink more than a quart in a 1 hour period.
Yeah.
An internist and a nutritionalist, they generally tell you that. And the one who told me I had to drink that gallon, I told him that. And I said, and you're the idiot that told me that. So if you're going to change your mind,
So
I'm going to walk out of here and I'm going to tell everyone in that waiting room, you don't have a clue of what you're doing.
27 was the first time I did it. Has everybody watched The Exorcist when the girl spews and spins her head around?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I recreated that scene the last sip of this shit that I drank.
I wouldn't doubt it.
There was a table that my stepdad had magazines on in front of the toilet for some reason. It was so powerful, it hit the wall and did not wet anything on that table.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
So
I
you're the
tell
one
you.
that taught Tori how to do that.
She wasn't alive. I call up the nurse and I go, I just finished off the Go Lightly, but I recreated The Exorcist. She starts laughing.
I don't know what else you're supposed to do.
I'm like, I can't do another one of these. She like, you drank enough of that shit. You're good. If it's not clear by the time you take the magnesium citrate, go get another one. I'm like, excuse me? Do you know what happens when you drink this shit? You ain't leaving the house.
Okay, the same doctor that told me it was not that bad and had never had it himself told me that men should have them. Or what do they call it?
That should be a
The
requirement.
women get it on the mammograms. I said, and just how are you going to squeeze me like that? I'm just asking.
Maybe he's good at making wine.
You know, and
I'm
he looked at
sorry.
me and he said, well, I don't. I said, you're going to have to squeeze me through my rib cage. So you're going to have to front to back.
I know several women who are like, who definitely have the same complaint. I'm like, exactly.
You know,
how
and
is
I'm like, have you never heard of Dr.
Wait. If
Komnaya
if
in
you give
Portland?
shots, if you stick people with needles, you have to be stuck with needles. So
Yes.
to me, if you give a colonoscopy, you should take the colonoscopy first.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
seems
but-
reasonable.
I know I
Not
said
gonna hear
the
you
name
say
wrong,
serious.
but the man was at St. Vincent de Paul in Portland, Oregon, and his wife was very busty. And they always bruised and hurt her. Deep tissue bruising. So he came up literally with a CAT scan that would only do the breast. Slide the thing on. Done. 1 micron thick, the layers. FDA will not approve it. Non-invasive, non-painful, and non-destructive.
Yep.
Just insane.
And he says the beauty with this device is I can do men and women. Because men, even though the muscles are different, they can still have breast cancer.
Yeah.
And the FDA says, nope. What does that tell you about the FDA? Kinky flinky.
I don't have good words for you.
The beauty of
How
it
many
is no
four-letter words
one
would you like
does.
me to string together? And then I can add a couple 5-letter words.
In words, you can talk to me like you just had half a gallon of scotch and it just about covered.
Okay.
We can do
Oh, wait, and the wrong
just-
person grabbed your cheek.
So I have an alternative to the Go Lightly and clearing the system. A gallon of Cubano tea or coffee.
Yeah, okay. That'll do it.
The only problem is you will be up for 2 weeks afterwards. But you will be clear and it will taste good. Right, Drew?
Well, it'll taste good to you. I hate coffee.
No. Okay, so Cubano coffee has enough sugar that you can take the spoon or a straw and stick it like this, and it will stick up on its own.
Oh,
It's
like
like
so it's like a pint of Guinness.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah.
It's
Property.
it is the I like the Werther's original coffee flavor, but I don't like coffee. I like Cubano coffee shots, but I will only have one. However, anything above one, and you will be at the bathroom. Then you will be awake forever. it makes espresso look tame.
Espresso has less coffee or like less caffeine than coffee.
Yes, much less.
You've never
Yeah, it's
had the espresso that his stepdaughter ordered.
Well, maybe. Just,
Of course, it took, what, 45 minutes to get a coffee from Starbucks for you?
Yeah. Then when we get home, she goes, "Oh, I should have ordered it on mobile, so you could have just picked it up." Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
just execute. Full on execution. I think it's really funny. Like in the building that I am, there's of course a Starbucks, right? And right across the street is a Starbucks. And for a while, there was a Starbucks on the second level across the street as well. It's still a coffee place now. But at least it's not Starbucks.
My favorite media reference to Starbucks was in the TV show Sleepy Hollow. And this police detective is talking to Ichabod Crane, who's just been reanimated back to life in the 20th century. And they're driving down the street, and he goes, "But that's a Starbucks, and that's a Starbucks. How many are there?" And she said, "At least one per block." He goes, "Is there a law?"
yeah, I remember that.
Well, I mean,
This is better.
so I've been to Hawaii, and the last time I was there, it didn't seem quite as prevalent. But at one point when I had been there, there was a place called ABC, and it was basically a bit of a corner store mixed with a souvenir shop, right?
Yeah.
You know what ABC stands for? At both corners, and in many places in Hawaii, this was true.
Okay,
Yeah.
so an ABC in Florida is a liquor store.
Yeah.
Actually, it covers a lot more than just Florida, but you're right, Sean. But in Hawaii, ABC is just that.
So when you
And
said
it is.
ABC, I just pictured a liquor store on every corner.
No. I was talking about Hawaii. I wasn't talking about Whitehorse.
Right. It's not on the mainland. They don't have anything like that on the mainland.
Oh, okay.
Well, they do in Orlando. They call them souvenir shops. But
Oh,
they're
okay.
every bloody fucking where, and they're all owned by the same company.
Two ABC liquor
Yeah,
stores down
down in Kissimmee.
192.
5 minutes from his house, there are those shops. And Mike is ignoring me.
What's that?
I said 5 minutes from your house, those souvenir shops are.
No,
5
it's more
minutes?
like about 7 minutes from his house. But you're
Ah.
close.
More like
Try
40.
like 15, 20 minutes.
I'm exaggerating. Like,
Oh,
More like
Pick on
40.
Mike.
Oh.
you should have went with Dunkin' Donuts. It's closer.
Yeah.
7-Eleven's closer than Dunkin'.
That's true.
basically, about 15 minutes from his house, Richard, is souvenir shops. Then there's outlet malls. Then there's what's the other thing where it's an off brand of the regular brand? The warehouse stores, the factory outlets that the one-off knockoff they messed up on the shoot and they send them to these stores. What the fuck is it called?
I can't remember.
There are some factory outlets. They just
Yeah, factory outlet.
well, you already
They-
said it twice. So I thought
It's
that's
like, but like I said, my brain's not working. It's souvenir shop, factory outlet, souvenir shop, factory outlet, souvenir shop.
Disney store.
Yeah.
Disney, yeah.
Disney store.
That's 192.
535 and 192 for Disney.
And after
Now,
the
if
Disney
you come
store,
from the
it's
other
the-
direction, skip the Disney store. It's a Universal store. Universal store. Universal store.
But after the Disney store is the world's largest fishing store.
Yeah.
And
I
then
thought,
it
I
goes
thought
souvenir
that
store.
was a pyramid in Tennessee.
The same store without the pyramid is in Florida.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
thinking. Bass Pro Shop.
Bass Pro Shop.
Including size, by the way, Richard.
This is the only fishing store that has a full bass car lot, basically, inside the store.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a boat that you need a semi to pull from the store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Bass Pro Shop that is in Crosseye is not nearly as big as some of the ones you have, but it is still a stupidly big store.
Does it have
Which one, Richard?
The second story ceiling aquarium in that store?
Yes.
Yes. I believe it does have an aquarium.
Which one, Richard? Which one are you talking about?
Oh, Bass Pro Shop.
Where?
Cross Iron. It's a mall like north of me.
Oh, and
Oh,
also,
yeah. You're
if
right.
you-
You're right. You're right. You're right.
There's a big mall there.
if you
It's
go
damn near
farther
as big.
down-
Yeah.
If you go farther down the road, there's a Dick's.
Wait, which one?
Sporting Goods.
Oh, okay.
The one that doesn't sell guns.
No, they sell guns. Walmart doesn't sell guns in that city.
No, they were going to stop gun sales at Dick's, but then when the memes hit about don't be a dick, sell guns, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to change this because these guys are picking on us. We just don't want to cause the death of others.
And I thought Disney was
I mean,
expensive.
kind of reasonable.
I thought Disney was expensive, but some of these souvenir shops near Mike's house cost more than going to Disney to buy the shit.
No. Anything you buy outside of Disney is half the price of what you pay in Disney.
Right.
The same towel
See you,
went
John.
$21. When I went to Walmart, it was $11.
Leave it alone, John.
We get it. We get it. We all know Disney's expensive.
Well, they
We
got
all
to pay for all
know.
those cast members.
Disney's
It could
outrageous.
be
True.
worse. You could go to shop
And
at
they
the
gotta pay
place
for
that's
all those
outside
private
of
jets.
Universal.
Yeah.
Go to shop outside of Universal, and it costs you $40 to park.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think. Hey, look. All I can say is the idea that in recent memory there was a Florida politician so bad, DeSantis, that he was so bad he made people root for Disney. No one roots for Disney.
I know.
This motherfucker. And we don't normally talk politics, but this is on both sides. They hate this man for one thing and one thing only. This motherfucker wanted to put pickleball courts, golf courses, and hotels in state parks.
Yeah. That sounds perfectly logical if you're an idiot.
Well, now that you've identified him,
It's bad when both sides go, that's fucking stupid.
Wow, I mean,
this is
there's
a guy
definitely
that
people out there
says,
going, why are we
we're going all of the books, the greatest literature known to man, all the way back to Plato. He has said, okay, anything that talks about socialism, RAPE, anything like that,
I think Star
gunplay,
Trek
okay,
was
we're
banned.
banning. And then he says, everyone needs to have a Bible. I'm like, have you ever read that book? I mean, before you start saying this, have you ever read that book?
Let me think. I think there is a list of. I think the list of things that they don't do in the Bible is much shorter than the things that they do in the Bible.
What is if I'm going to fall back on my PhD in theology, there are 61 things that have only come into existence since 1956. that are not mentioned in the Bible. Everything else is covered. So, okay, dimwit, why don't you sit down and read that book? And when you say we're banning this, we're going to ban you.
There is a story.
Can we skip the thing and just ban them?
There is a story about two daughters getting their dad drunk and then
Seducing him.
Yeah.
Seducing him.
Yeah, because they wanted examples.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to protect the pedos so much that they changed Leviticus 18:22.
How long would we like to be here about like how translations work? A
Well,
translator always making choices.
Yeah, but here's the problem. He's not reading it. He's looking at the original. If he's working on with a translator, he's looking at the images of the original Greek and translating it himself, and the dude's a buffoon.
Sounds about right.
If you disagreed with him politically the last time anything was said, he would turn around and send the police to your house.
You know, he should really stop reading Prava.
It's his favorite book.
Okay, guys. It is 10 o'clock, and Drew and Mike have a very early morning.
Yeah, I read the post that you did yesterday when it was going to start at 6.
8
or 6 my time, 8 your time, 6 my time.
It did start. It did start on time.
I know it started on time. I'm just saying I read the post talking about Drew. You didn't wake up early.
I actually called Drew up. I said, "You want to start it at 8?" He goes, "Yes." And then we haven't stopped talking. So it is 10:05. So we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to hit the end now. But everybody live long and prosper. We will have pictures next time of the next con, and we'll talk about. I know Canada has a con coming up in November or December.
Maybe. I'll check.